One of the things that I get asked by people on social media right now is that what next for Zimbabwe? Should we hope on Sadc, or we should just wait for the next 5 years and see what is going to happen? This is one of the biggest questions that people are asking, because we're almost close to a month since the election happened. Inauguration has happened, the cabinet has been selected, there's nothing to expect much. I'll tell you why I think it is time for us to refocus and think on other means of resolving our Zimbabwean problem. The first thing that I want us to look at as Zimbabweans is the fact that we continue ignoring our perennial problem that has caused, one, elections to be rigged in Zimbabwe, and number two, the perennial problem that has caused opposition not to assume power since 1980. This problem that we are ignoring is our biggest problem, more than it is ZANU-PF or the president of the country. I'll tell you why, and I'll show you these events. First of all, if we recall in 2017, when Vice President Chiwenga came out, when he was still the commander of the army, and he said that the army will not hesitate to step in.
It is pertinent to restate that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces remain the major stockholder in respect to the gains of the liberation struggle. And when these are threatened, we are obliged to take corrective measures.
But we had not yet heard this statement for the first time. In 2002, under the army, they said they are not going to allow a party that does not have a liberation movement credentials to lead Zimbabwe. When people marched in 2017 and they endorsed that march with the soldiers, we're creating another perennial problem. And that problem not only relates to rigging of elections or any other ways of making sure that our elections in Zimbabwe or the vote of the people is not counted equitably. It relates to our real problem. Our real problem is, unless the army disintegrates, unless the army stops involving itself in the matters to do with ZANU-PF, only that's when we can say we can have free and fair elections. That's when we can say that we can see the opposition, or even we can see organs like Sadc being respected. Because at this point in time, even if Sadc puts pressure on Zimbabwe, that for me is not going to yield much fruit. Because you can see from the hastiness by our president to appoint the cabinet and do all these things, it is a way of sending a picture. If even he said that nobody can put pressure on me.
You look at me. Who do you think can put pressure on me?
Our problem needs to be addressed as it is, not for us to assume that the army is going just to hand over the gun to the opposition and say, you are now in charge. It doesn't happen that way in our teapot country. For me, I would focus my energy, if I'm the opposition, I would focus my energy on service delivery in towns, in urban areas where we have won, sacrifice a lot to make sure that we deliver the best in the councils that have been elected. And as for the ordinary Zimbabweans who care for the country, it's high time we should stop this problem of belonging to this party or belonging to this party, and stop being an agent of polarization in Zimbabwe. Because that's the other reason why our politicians can only feast on our polarity in between elections and all of that. Until we start to recognize humanity as humanity and we don't look at each other on the party lines that we belong to, we are not going to move forward. That is my own advice to us as Zimbabweans. If you feel like you need to leave Zimbabwe and find greener pastures somewhere, I think it's time for you to go. Because there is no good solution coming in the near future, as some are predicting. I might be a prophet of doom, but I can tell you now, until the issue of involvement of army in our politics, there is no way that we can find help soonest. We are just giving each other false hope. Except that disintegration happens, there is no hope for Zimbabwe. I know it's painful, but that is reality. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.